Welcome to Humble Warrior Yoga. I'm Caroline, and for today's practice we're going to be focusing on building some strength and achieving a bit more mobility in the shoulders. So you'll need a few props for today's practice. You'll need a yoga strap, or if you have anything like a scarf or the tie from your dressing gown, anything like that, a belt, anything will do, just as long as it's got some length to it. Also, if you have a couple of yoga blocks, you'll need those. If not, don't worry, you can use some cushions. So we're going to start in a supported fish pose. So if you're using blocks, I'll show you quickly how to set them up. So you want one lengthways down the mat here and one across the other to support your head. And you'll just come down to your back, just lower down so that the blocks are between the shoulder blades and one block supporting your head. If you're using cushions, just grab a couple of these. You probably want 2 cushions. Put one there. You're just going to scoot your bottom right up to them, just gently lower down. So you're still getting that lift under the chest. So whichever you're using. Gently lower down, let the shoulders drop down and relax, opening across the collarbones, just closing down the eyes, deepening the breath. The legs can be anywhere you like. You could extend them out long if you like, you could keep them bent, you could take them wider and allow the knees to drop in together. Or something I really like to do is bring the soles of the feet together and just let the knees gently drop out to the side. Whatever you've chosen, bring your awareness to your breath. See if you can find that equal parts breathing, so making the inhalations and exhalations the same length. And if this really is too much on your lower back, or it just doesn't feel good for you, just remove those cushions or blocks and lie in a Shavasana. Taking a few breaths just to let go of the day so far. See if you can let go of all those to-do lists you might have. Taking this time for yourself today. Gently batten the eyelids open. Just bring your feet flat to the ground, whatever position you're in. Just bring your elbows slightly out to the sides. Press into your palms, tuck the chin to the chest, and then push up. Nice. So move your cushions or blocks out to the sides. We won't be needing those again. And grab a hold of your strap. So we're going to do a short sequence with the strap to help mobilise the shoulders. So you can do this kneeling, you can be sort of up off your feet, you can even stand up if you wanted to. You could probably do it sitting down cross-legged as well. I just prefer to be sat like this. So take the arms out really wide. You're going to hold the strap in each hand and pull it taut. So we don't want any slack in the middle there. We want to pull it nice and tight. And if you just watch for the first time, I'm going to inhale, take that up overhead and bring it down behind you. So what we're looking for, when the arms go over the head, we don't want to sort of pull one shoulder and then the other. They need to be going at the same time. So we're keeping the hands in line at all times. And after you've done that a couple of times, you might find you can make the distance a bit narrower as we gently warm up. And if that's just not accessible for you at all, you could just simply take the arms out and sort of circle them backwards and forwards. So we're still getting some movement there. And as I said, if you sort of take it too narrow and you get to that point where you're having to pull one shoulder over and then the other, that's too far. Just lengthen the strap a little. So inhale, take it over. And exhale, coming back. Remembering to keep that strap taut between the hands. I don't know about you, but I'm really starting to feel that now. Okay, so we're just going to do that twice more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Once more. Nice. Now we're going to take the shoulder width apart in our hands. Just find your shoulder width. Just bring your arms by the sides and take them out in front. And that's where your natural shoulder width is. So holding it tight again, and take the arms up overhead. Inhale, and as you exhale, bend the elbows away from each other. Bring the strap down behind your head. So it's a bit like one of those machines that you see at the gym. Try not to allow any tension to creep up into the neck. It is a bit difficult. Also try not to dip the head forwards as you do this. If it feels quite hard, that's fine. We're only going to do a few. I can feel the work, definitely. Okay, 2 more. Nice. Just release the strap for a moment, maybe give your shoulders a quick circle. And the last thing we're going to do with the strap, just take your hands a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, again keeping it taut. Take the strap overhead. You're going to dip the left hand down to the side, bending the right elbow, drawing the palm of the right hand towards the middle of the shoulder blades. Inhale back to centre, exhale, take it to the other side. Inhale to centre. So we're aiming to try and bring this elbow sort of pointing up towards the ceiling. It won't happen for everybody. And if that's a bit tight, just lengthen your strap. You can always work here. You're still getting that same movement. Keep the strap tight. Okay, we're going to do 1 more to each side. Lovely. Release the strap. You can take that off to the side. We won't be needing that again. Just give the shoulders a little shrug, some circles. Bring the hands to the shoulders. Draw the elbows together, making big circular motions. If your arms don't meet, that's fine. And take them the opposite direction. If there's a bit of crunching going on, it doesn't matter. We're just warming up still. Nice. So we're going to come to all fours. You want your palms shoulder width apart, spread the fingers. Wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are hip width apart and underneath the hips. I'm going to do a bit of spinal flexion and extension just to warm up through the spine. So inhale, lift the tailbone up towards the sky. Allow the belly to drop down, the chest comes forward. Squeeze those shoulder blades towards one another. Exhale, curling the tailbone down towards the ground, arching through the spine. Allow the head to drop down. And feeling those shoulder blades gliding away from one another. Twice more with your own breath. Inhaling, curl the tailbone up, chest comes forwards. Exhale, rounding through. Once more. Inhale as you pull the chest forward, the belly drops. Exhale, rounding back through. And bring the spine to a neutral position. So we're not arching through the spine and we're not dropping the belly down. We're going to do something called scapular push-ups. So as much as we can, we're going to keep the entire body still except for the chest. So you're going to keep the arms straight. You won't be able to see much here. We're going to lower the chest between the arms and press back up, filling that space between the shoulder blades. So give it a go. So as we come down, we're not sort of lifting the tailbone, we're trying to keep that neutral spine as best we can. And as we lift up, we're not arching either, we're trying to keep our spine as neutral as we can. Of course there will be some small movements. Just one more. Nice. Maybe just sit back to your heels for a moment, give your wrists a little circle. Circle the shoulders as well. That's great. Coming back onto all fours. Just walk the knees back a little way, hands forward, gently lower down onto the belly. Take the feet out as wide as the mat. You're going to bring the elbows underneath the shoulders into Sphinx pose. So think about pressing the pelvis down into the ground, pulling the chest forwards. So we're not trying to look up, just slightly ahead towards the ground. Pressing into the forearms and the hands, pressing into the elbows. We're not collapsing our weight into the shoulders, we're actively pressing away from the mat. If that's a bit intense on your lower back, you can walk your arms further forward and be here. But just remember not to collapse all the weight in there. Nice. Take the elbows out wide so you can lower down to the chest. Bring the feet back in line with the hips. Hands come by the ribs, pressing back up to all fours. Okay, from here, extend the right foot out behind you, keeping the toes on the ground. And just gently rock back and forth, lengthening out through the back of the leg. And see if you can float that leg up just to hip height. Really engage the core. And if that feels okay, maybe you float the opposite arm out in front. Bring that palm back down, bend the knee, and you can step it all the way in between the hands at the front into a low lunge. Just take a moment to adjust your stance if you need to. Lift the toes, spread them a little bit wider. You can use your hands if you want to. Really plant that front foot down into a nice firm foundation. You can keep the left palm down to the ground. Extend the right arm out in front and then circle it up, around and back down. Just taking a few circles here. inhale, take it up to the top, and exhale on the way back down. Gentle twist through the thoracic spine as well. And see if you can follow your hand with your gaze. Nice. Bring that palm back down. So inhale, we're going to take the arms up overhead. Soften the shoulders. Keep a small bend in the elbows. Really give your shoulders some space here. Inhale. As you exhale, draw the hands down behind you, interlacing the fingers, and draw the knuckles down and away. Really stretching through the chest. The option here for a small back bend. And gently release the palms back down. You're going to walk that right foot right to the edge of the mat. Let the toes spill off the edge of the mat. Right hand comes to the inside. So both hands are on the inside of the foot. So we're in a lizard variation. Just have a gentle rock back and forth here. Just warming up through the hip. And come to stillness. If you want to, there's the option to lift the toes and just gently press the knee out so you come onto the outer edge of that foot. Inhale, take the right arm forwards, circle it around and back. If that feels okay, maybe you can bend the left leg, bring the foot to the hand, and then use that foot to pull the hand away so you're opening up through the shoulders and the chest a little more. If that's too intense, just stay here with the arm extended. And bring everything back to centre. Just heel toe that foot back in so the hands frame the foot. Shift the hips back. So you want to try and keep this left hip over the knee. And then flex the toes towards your face. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, folding over that leg. One more breath here. Gently rocking back forwards. I'm just going to take that knee back. So we're back in our tabletop position. So we're going to do all that on the other side. So start by tucking the left toes, send the leg out behind, just gently rocking. Finding some length through the back of the leg. And see if you can float that leg up. Maybe you can extend the right arm forwards as well. Really engage the core, keep you stable. Bring the right palm down, bend the left knee, and step it all the way through into the low lunge on this side. So just take a moment here, lifting the chest. And keep the right palm down, extend the left palm forwards, up, around and down. Taking those same circles we did on the other side. Maybe after a few, you can follow your hand with your gaze and get a gentle twist in there as well. Just one more. Bring the palm back down. Inhale, take the arms up overhead, bend the elbows slightly, find some space in the shoulders. We don't need to have our arms up here. Keep them nice and relaxed and down the back. Inhale. As you exhale, draw the hands behind you, interlacing the hands. See if you can do it the opposite way around this time, so it might feel a little bit strange. Drawing the knuckles down and away. Lifting the chest. Again, option for a small back bend here. Only looking up if it's comfortable for your neck. And gently release the hands down to the ground. Walk that left toe right over to the left side. Allow the toes to come off the mat. Just gently rocking from side to side here. Notice if it feels any different to the other side. Maybe this side feels a little bit more open, a little bit tighter. And coming to stillness, option here to lift the toes and then turn onto the outer edge of this foot. Lifting the chest. Extend the left arm forwards, up and back. And if you have that range of movement, you can bend that right leg, grab a hold of the foot and pull the foot away, using that to open the chest even further. It's just an option though, you can stay here. And coming back to centre, just heel toe that foot, back between the hands, shifting the hips back. So you try and keep the right hip over the right knee as you flex that foot towards the face. Inhale, find some length. And exhale, folding over that leg. Nice, rocking forwards. Just going to step that foot back so we're back in our tabletop position. Just walk the hands further forward, coming back down onto our bellies. Hands by the ribs. And coming into cobra. So inhale, lift the chest. Imagine it's the crest and fall of a wave, so you exhale back down. Try to keep it smooth and fluid. Inhale. Exhale back down. One more. And back down. Nice. Press into the palms, come back onto your knees. You're just going to push the hips back towards the heels. So we're in a version of a child's pose. So from here, keep the hands planted firmly. And rock the weight forward. So the shoulders come over the wrists. So we're in a modified plank. You should really feel something going on in the abs here. You're going to keep the elbows pointing backwards as you lower down, bend the elbows into a push-up. Just hover off the ground, press back up and back towards the heels. These are child's pose push-ups, they're called. If you find that's a bit too difficult, you can just see if you can lower an inch maybe and press back up. You're still going to be building strength. So whatever level you're at today, just work there. So inhale to come forwards and lower. Exhale to push back up. And if you're feeling really strong, you can absolutely do this from a plank position. One more. Well done. So this time when you come back, sit back towards the heels. You can take your knees out wide if that's more comfortable. And take a few breaths in child's pose. Let the head melt down, let the chest melt down. Just take a few breaths, allow the breath to return to normal. As you're ready to, coming back up onto all fours. Bring the knees back in line with the hips. Tuck in the toes. Just walk the hands forward. Press into the palms as you lift the knees and lift the hips up high and back, finding downward facing dog. Start to pedal out the feet straight away. And come into stillness. You're going to extend the left leg out behind you. Bend the knee and draw it in towards the chest. Stepping it forward to the front of your mat. So you can use your hand to sort of pull the foot forward if you came up a bit short there. Or if that's just not accessible for you, from your downward dog, you're just going to lower to your knees, step that foot forward, and then tuck the back toes and lift the knee. So we're all in a runner's lunge. So I'm doing this side first because I'm going to end up facing away from the camera so you can see my arms. So keep everything exactly as it is, except you're going to lift your arms and draw them in line with the torso. So really plant down through that left foot. Then inhale, take the arms up overhead, high lunge. And you're going to pivot that back foot down. Keep the front knee bent as you open out the arms, warrior two. You might need to have a little play with your stance. Some people prefer the back foot to be on the diagonal. I quite like it parallel with the short edge of the mat. Take a couple of breaths in your warrior two. Then you're going to bring the left hand, bring it to the small of the back, right arm overhead. And then bring that palm down between the shoulder blades and see if you can bring the fingers to meet. So arch your arms. If this isn't accessible for you, you can simply bring both arms behind the back, grabbing hold of either the elbows, forearms, the wrists. Breathing deeply here. And gently release the grip of the hands, extend the arms out again. Take the right palm to the right thigh. Inhale, extend that left arm overhead, side bending over towards that back leg. Reverse warrior. Inhale to come back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg and turn the toes in so both feet are parallel. Interlacing the hands behind the back. Draw the knuckles down and away. Big inhale. As you exhale, hinge from the hips to fold forwards. Bringing the arms overhead if you can. One more breath here. And gently release the grip of the hands. Bring the hands to the hips. And slowly lift all the way back up. Turn the front toes back out. Bend into that knee again. And just bring the palms down to frame the foot. So you pivot on the back foot. So we're back in that runner's lunge. Just step the left foot back to meet the right. Plank. Knees can be lowered or lifted. We're just going to lower down onto our bellies, untuck the toes, press into the palm, lift up cobra. Exhale back down, tuck the toes. You can have a press back up to a plank and then push back to downward dogs. Or you can press up to your knees. Sit back towards the heels, lifting back up into downward dog. So we're going to do that again on the other side. As you're ready, extend the right leg out behind you, bend the knee, draw it in towards the chest, upper body is in plank, stepping it between the hands at the front. So if you did that from hands and knees before, just do that again, and we'll all meet in our runner's lunge. So changing nothing in the body except that the arms go out by the sides. one long line. And inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. I'm going to pivot that back foot down, keep that front knee bent, find warrior two on this side. So adjust the feet if you need to. Remember to keep the knee tracking over the toes, we don't want it to roll in. And as you're ready, you're going to take the right arm behind the back, left arm overhead, bring it down between the shoulder blades. If you can grab hold of the fingers, that's great. If not, you could try grabbing hold of a piece of your clothing. Or again, you can just bring both hands behind, reaching towards the elbows. Gently release the arms back to warrior two. Left palm to left thigh, right arm up overhead, reaching towards that back edge of the mat. Coming back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, turn the foot in, so both feet are parallel. Interlacing the hands behind the back. See if you can do it the opposite way this time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge from the hips to fold forwards. One more breath. Gently release the hands to the hips and coming back up to stand. Just turn those front toes out, bend into the knee, bring the palms down, just pivot on that back foot, so we're back in our runner's lunge. Step the right foot back to meet the left, plank, knees lowered or lifted, lower down to the belly. Press into the palms, lift up, cobra. Exhale back down. And this time you're going to press back to a child's pose and have a well-earned rest. Really breathing deeply here. Breathe into the back body. See if you can feel the ribs expand, front, back and sides. Then walk the hands over to the left side. If you feel like you need more of a stretch, work to press that right shoulder down towards the ground a little more. Just feel it more along the right side body. Slowly walk the hands back through centre, take it to the other side. And slowly walk back to centre. Just lift the head and come back up onto all fours. So you can do thread the needle. So extend the right arm out to the side, and then draw it through underneath that left arm. Pressing away, come down onto the ear. If that feels enough for you, you can stay here. Or maybe you want to take that left arm behind for a bind. You might like to extend the left arm forwards. Just go with whatever feels best for you right now. wherever your left hand was, bring it back to its starting position. Press into the palm to come back up. Re-extend the right arm out and placing it back down. Other side. So extend the left arm out to the side first. Really get some length. Draw it underneath the right, reaching away with those fingers, coming down onto the shoulder and the ear. Right arm can stay where it is. You could extend it out in front or reach around for the bind. Bring that right palm back down, press into the palm to lift up, extend the left arm out to the side, placing it back down. You're going to keep the hips over the knees as best you can, walking the palms forwards. And then from here, just lower the head down to the mat. Into puppy pose. You could take the arms out wider if you wanted to. And if you're after a little bit more intensity, bring the forearms to the ground, bend the elbows so you can bring the palms together. And just draw them back towards the back of your neck like a little shark fin. So you should feel that more into the triceps as well. Again, just have a little play, see what works best for you. Engage the abdomen a little bit. And when you're ready to come out, press into the palms, coming back up to tabletop. So we're going to come down onto our bellies, so just gently make your way down. I think we'll start with right first. You're going to cross the right arm over the left in front of it, just underneath your chest. Reach the fingers away from each other as much as you can. And just rest the chin on the arms. So sort of crisscross the arms. You can't feel much at this point. Just see if you can draw those fingertips away from each other even further. It usually takes a few breaths until you can actually feel it. Try and relax the rest of your body. Just that sort of temptation where you're squeezing the glutes a little bit. Just let the lower body relax. Try and relax the neck. And then coming back up, we're just going to swap the cross of the arms. So left goes in front. Just notice how that feels different on this side. This side definitely feels a bit more intense for me. And gently coming out. So from here you can just turn over onto your back. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Have a little rock from side to side, back and forth. And take the arms out to the sides. Or if you don't have the space, you can bend the elbows. Just gently lower the knees to one side. Keeping both shoulders down to the ground. Engage the core to bring the knees back up and lower to the other side. And if your knees aren't together, that doesn't matter. If it feels a bit uncomfortable, you can maybe grab your cushion and just place it between the knees. Nice. One more breath. Engage the core to lift the knees and place the feet down on the mat. And bring the soles of the feet together for a reclined bound angle pose. Just let the knees gently drop out to the sides. If that feels a bit uncomfortable, you can always prop some cushions underneath the thighs for some support. With your arms, you can either take them overhead, or you can come to cactus arms, so bend in the elbows. Whatever feels better for you. Just a few breaths here. Start to deepen your breath. And as you're ready, just take the legs out long down the mat, arms down by the sides. Take up some space, walk your feet out to the corners of the mat, let the feet splay open, palms facing the ceiling. Just relax the weight of the shoulders down, closing the eyes. Allow the breath return to its natural rhythm. Mentally scanning the body. Can we soften across the forehead a little? Can you relax the jaw? Let the belly be soft. Completely relax the weight of the legs. Give yourself permission to fully relax. If you have the time, I encourage you to stay here a while longer. Otherwise, start to bring back some small movement into the fingers and the toes. Gently rocking the head from side to side maybe. Bring the feet back in line with the hips, stretching the arms up overhead, reawakening the body, stretching the fingers and the toes. Bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the ground. Just gently rolling over to one side to come up. Take a few moments here and press into the palms to come all the way up to a seat. Bring the palms together in front of the heart space. Bowing the head. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel for more content.